Hello and welcome to Bharata First. You're watching UPSC Corner. I'm Rausan Pereira. And since you're here, I would like to thank you for your continued support. For those of you who haven't already subscribed, please like the video, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and then all notifications. Do follow our social media handles for all the latest updates, and you can also subscribe to our newsletter to get some incisive content. The Bharata First team runs a daily big picture quiz. Please do participate by going through the description in big picture videos. Here are the UPI IDs for those of you who would like to come forward and make a contribution. A small contribution that you make will be a giant leap for us to keep bringing you this content. So do continue to show your love and support. All the information along with some must-see recommendations are in the description of this video. So please go through it. Well, now, UPSC Corner is a program that helps aspirants get a clearer picture about the civil service. Over the weeks, we have met retired bureaucrats, retired ambassadors, real aspirants, and toppers as well. This week, it is time to meet toppers of a less talked about but a very important category. These youngsters are all set to serve the nation and make us all proud. It is a pleasure to welcome to UPSC Corner CAPF toppers. Firstly, I'd like to introduce Sheril Singh, UPSC CAPF AIR 31, Shubranshu Pandey, UPSC CAPF AIR 149, and Harjeet Singh, UPSC CAPF AIR 78, and all three of them are from the 2019 batch. They are now waiting to get their service allocation. All right, Sheril, let me start with you first. We'll be chivalrous. We'll start with the lady. And
Thank you.
let's talk about your journey. How has it been? Why CAPF and why not something else? Because if you talk about the UPSC, the first thing that comes to everyone's mind, lakhs of them, is the IAS, the IPS, and then maybe IFS, and then the IRS. Why CAPF?
All right. So was my second attempt. The 2019 was my second attempt at the CAPF exam. I got through it and got recommended. So why CAPF is, I always wanted to join the forces anyhow. So as compared to the SSBs for Army and APCAT, one very interesting and good thing about CAPF is there's no restriction on the number of vacancies for women here. So it's all open. So I thought it's a great opportunity for all the women out there to compete at the same parlance as with men, and then score a good rank, and then serve the nation, serve the forces with shoulder to shoulder. So I think that's why I chose the CAPFs, and why not the other services like ISIPSs is because ever since college, or even before that, I had a sports background, and then I joined the NCC. So the uniform was always what I wanted. So I chose something which was in between both the things, and I think CAPFs combined both of them very beautifully.
And at the CAPF, whatever happens, you will definitely get a uniform. At the other at the other level, there is not it's not sure that you will get a uniform.
Exactly.
So that's something that people need to consider at some point. Very good, very good.
Right.
Very proud of you, Sheril, and I know that you'll do our nation proud, and I can already see that. Harjeet, let me come to
Yes,
you
sir.
now. So I'm sure at some point in time you'd have thought about the CDS as well, and you'd have looked at that too. So tell us about your journey and how it has been.
Yes, Jai Hind to everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you for bringing us on your platform. And I would also like to congratulate you for your new initiative, Bharata First. And definitely it will be of great help for the general public as whole and the UPSC aspirants who are preparing for different competitive exams. And I would like to congratulate my fellow colleagues present here, Ms. Sheril Singh and Mr. Pandey. And talking about my journey, sir, I always wanted to join the defense forces. So uniform was something for me, was not just a piece of cloth for me. It was my life, sir. It was very much impossible for me to dream my life without uniform. So I started preparing for the defense competitive exams. I undertook CDS, FCAT, and UPSC CAPF AC examinations. I went for the SSB, but hard luck, I couldn't able to make it through the SSB. But I got the chance in the CAPF AC. This journey, sir, in my opinion, was full of ups and downs and off days, good days, but at the end of the day, sir, the beauty is that when you reach your destination, all looks beautiful, sir. And sir, and we are going to get the uniform at the end of the day. And the uniform for us is like an inspiration for us. And the uniform always tell us that you have the responsibility on your shoulder. Your responsibility to keep your country safe, speak to keep the people of your country safe, and lead the brave soldiers and give out to the country and its people, sir. So it always been the inspiration for us to join the defense forces.
And you will be an inspiration for millions of Indians. I can already see that, Harjeet. Your words have really touched me, and I'm sure they have touched the hearts and minds of everyone who is listening as well. We need more people like you, and that's why at Bharata First, I always keep talking about how we need to inform, educate, and empower the youth, because it is the youth that is the future of this country, and it is the youth that can carry the weight of the country's shoulders, or carry the weight of the country on its shoulders. And that's what you guys are doing. And I know that you will do us all proud, not just you, all three of you, and everybody else who's getting into the armed forces, because it's not a job that gives you any credit, or it's not a job that gives you great um, it gives you satisfaction, but it doesn't bring fame along with it. And without that fame, you continue to do this and you continue to aspire to do this. That's what's so beautiful about it. And I'm really proud of the three of you. Shubhranshu, um, coming to you now, why don't you
Yes.
tell us about your journey? What made you decide to take up this route and not any other route?
So it could be my childhood dream, as I can see that my father is in police, in Uttar Pradesh police, and my brother had also followed the same path, and he had also joined the state police. And when I was in my childhood, then I was going to my school from a cantonment area, and this cantonment area always excited me that I also have to join the armed forces. And since my 12th standard, I had given NDA. And after that, after graduation, I had given CDS and FCAT. And it was very unfortunate that I couldn't clear that. And the CAPF was the second option, that I would go for the CAPF. This charm for the uniform and to serve the country in uniform, it always attracted me. Like all three here, we have also made attempt in CDS and Air Force common admission test also. So I think it is only like a unique way to serve the motherland. So all three got attracted towards the uniform for serving the India.
Very good. Shabash. So proud of you. So very proud of you. सबसे मुश्किल दौर क्या था इस पूरी जर्नी में, इस पूरे प्रिपरेशन के दौरान?
Sir, is
शुभ्रांशु.
preparation? Yes, sir. Sir, is preparation ke dauran, sir, lots of failure. When I can see in back, then I had given 8 years, complete 8 years, to get this uniform. And this perseverance, what was needed, and I had to hold it. And that is how I had given all the attempts with new enthusiasm. And finally, I had got it.
What motivated you? 8 साल तो मतलब किसके पास है देने के लिए? But it feels great now, I know. Yes, definitely. But बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे भी हैं, बीच में तैयारी छोड़ देते हैं. So what motivated you?
Sir, I don't know, but it was like a something in my inner inner body, that it was motivating. And when I see my father, he is also a sub inspector, and I also talk to him about the services and what are the like challenges. Then he also always motivated me, and he motivated my brother too. So he had got the uniform earlier than me, and finally.
Okay, great. Very, very proud of the entire family. Uh, Senior Pandey ji ko namaskar, and very happy that he has sent two boys of his to get into the armed forces to get the uniform. It's very, very nice to see fathers like this also. So that's wonderful to know. Sheril, what has been the most challenging aspect for you in this journey? How did you overcome that challenge? What kept you motivated?
The most challenging was after a failure, since the exam is just once a year. So you have to repeat the entire procedure all over again just to prepare for that one day of exam the next year. So I think to keep that zeal alive is the most important, it was the most significant challenge of all, because I believe the preparation is like a sine curve. There's it goes up and then it goes down. You hit your highs and lows. So during that lows, picking myself up was a challenge, and I believe a very strong support system of family and friends is what's needed to keep you going. One is your own inner motivation that you need to reach a goal, but along with that, I think your friends and family who keep batting for you and who are there for you all the time, that's a very important thing, because it's like a wholesome experience and the efforts are from everybody. So that got me going. And of course, my parents who were very, very supportive of me. So they kept me very motivated along with my inner motivation, obviously.
Very good. So, also, Cheryl, tell me something else, because we all know so much about the civil services in terms of the IAS, the IPS, and the IRS and IFS. There's very little
Right.
information about the CAPF. So,
Right.
what is the process like if somebody wants to follow in your footsteps, get to where you are at? What is the process? What is the examination like? What happens really?
So the examination is conducted in three stages. Stage one consists of two exams, paper one and paper two. Paper one is an objective exam of 250 marks. The same day, after some time, like 2 or 3 hours of break, there's a 3 hour paper two examination. It's a subjective paper where, along with your English, since it's an English exam, but along with that, I think your general awareness is also tested. You are required to write essays, reports, your opinions are asked for, debates are there. So that tests your entire general awareness about the things of, and that's like a crux of all that you prepare for your paper one. The second stage, after you clear the first stage written exam, the second stage is PETMST, which is the physical efficiency test and medical standards test. There are certain physical standards that are supposed to be met with. They are a little different for girls and boys. Just one event is extra for boys, and they are supposed to perform 4 tasks. Girls have 3 tasks at hand. After that, your basic medical standards are checked, whether you are fit for the forces, and there shall not be any grave injury or something that might hamper the service. When you clear that, you get a call for personality test from the UPSC, which is the interview stage. That's the final step. After that, you wait for your merit list, and that is it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, Harjeet, let me come to you now. You said you've been through the SSB. We all know how difficult that is, and we know how that process goes. And the 5-day interview process is very different to the interview process here. What's the main difference between the personality tests and the interview process? If you can take us through that, and how to prepare for the interview as such.
Yes, sir. So there is a lot of difference between the SSB interview and the personality test, which is conducted by the UPSC. SSB is for 5 days, sir. Initially, you have to appear for the screening process, where most of the candidates got screened out, sir. And in the UPSC interview, you are called by the UPSC. You have to attend the interview. Your interview session may go from 15 minutes to 30 minutes or onward according to your performance in the personality test. You are going to get your marks there. But in the SSV interview, there is a lot of difference, sir. You have to go through different processes, psychological test, GTOs, and the personal interview, and your performance got evaluated throughout the 5 days, sir. And according to that, you will be either get recommended or not get recommended, sir. So there is a, but in the interview, sir, for the UPSC interview, you have to keep certain things in your mind, sir, because the interview marks are very important, sir. Either they can make your chances or break your chances. Either they can consolidate your position within the merit list or either kick you out, sir. So you have to keep certain things in your mind, sir. So what? So you have to avoid certain mistakes related to the documents. You have to bring your documents with you. Your attire should be very formal in nature because you are going to appear in front of the panel members, which are who are very experienced and respectable, and you have to uh, you have to look after your basic etiquettes before entering into the room, asking for the permissions, and keep your mind clear, and don't get nervous in the interview, because when you get nervous in the interview, sir, what happens is that you clearly not get the questions asked by the interview panel members, and you wrongly apprehend those questions, and that will be go against you, sir. And whenever you answering a particular question, keep in your mind that you are a potential material for an officer. You are a responsible citizen who follows constitution. You are a responsible human beings with moral values, and keep your attitude positive and mindset clear, sir, and you will going to sail through the interview, sir.
Absolutely. And so, can we compare the interview with that of the other civil service interviews? I mean, can we say that both these interviews are very similar?
Yes, sir. These two interviews are quite similar because you are going to judge by the same panel members, but the basic difference is that in the CAPF AC interviews, there are four members who constitute a single panel, but in the civil services interviews, there are five members. But overall, they judge on you on the basic traits that you should have. Overall, the similarities are these two interviews are quite similar, sir. I would say that.
Very good. Great. So, coming to you now, Shubranshu, what was your preparation like? What was your strategy like? This word strategy is very highly used as far as the UPSC is concerned. Everybody talks about their strategy. Let us hear your strategy also. Shubranshu.
Sir, yes, sir. My strategy was just like when we are going for the objective questions, then I had solved lots of previous year questions, means from UPSC to state public service commissions to CDS and other means wherever I can get objective questions, I had solved last previous 10 years. Then some standard books which are also known by all the candidates, and for that objective material means for paper one, it was wholeheartedly for the objective questions as many as I can solve. And for the paper two, we have to see lots of current affairs where we have to make our own opinion and we have to put on the paper for the for checking to the UPSC. And in that, I had followed your earlier channel, which was Rajya Sabha TV, and various online platforms, various paper, and in that only the basic thing was to cover all the aspect what is happening in the world, and what we can also think about and put it on the paper. So for the paper two, it was not very what we can say that एक ऐसा कोई अचूक वो नहीं है कि उसी को आप कर लोगे तो पेपर टू हो जाएगा। पेपर टू के लिए बहुत वास्ट वे में हमें जाना पड़ता है। और सर
अच्छा,
बस
तो इसके लिए बस स्ट्रैटेजी नहीं है, बस मन खोल के करो।
हाँ सर, वो करना रहता है, वो करते रहिए आप, मतलब कुछ चीज छूटे ना। तो पेपर टू के लिए सर यही है। और उसके लिए फिर सर व्हेन वी गो फॉर द पीईटी एमएससी, तो उसके लिए सर हमें काफी ज्यादा फिजिकल एक्सरसाइजेस करनी पड़ती हैं, स्टेमिना बिल्डअप करना पड़ता है, अपने डाइट पे थोड़ा ध्यान देना पड़ता है, जिससे कि हमारा फिजिकल आसानी से क्लियर हो जाए। और रनिंग वगैरह सर इसमें होता है, तो उसके लिए हमें काफी सारा मतलब स्टेमिना गेन करना पड़ता है। तो सर ऐसे सर हो गया। और फॉर इंटरव्यू आई हैड फोकस्ड अ लॉट, एंड फॉर इंटरव्यू वी हैड गॉट अराउंड 1 year because there was a pandemic in between. For interview, sir, I had completed all the standard book. What I there is a standard book of Lakshmi Khan, so I completed in the pandemic only. And again, we have to go for the current affair, the news, what is happening all around, or it will be judged by the panel member. So this is how the preparation was.
Very good. Chalo. Okay. Now I'm going to get closing comments from all of you. We'll talk about strategy. We'll talk about how you helped, how you got through the exam itself, and any tips that you would like to give out to youngsters who want to follow in your footsteps. Well, you two are youngsters, but be aspirants is what what I mean. But let me start with you, Sheril.
All right. So the first thing that I believe is very important is that strengthen your fundamentals, strengthen your basics, read the basic books that everybody is required to read. We all know what those are. The rationale behind it is build your base so strong that you do not lose out any marks on those things in during the paper. Rather than running behind the new material that comes every now and then. Second is identify your strengths and weaknesses. First, you work on the strengths so that again you do not lose out on marks there, and then you turn to your weaknesses as and when you have what time you have at hand. So there, the marks you get there are your bonus marks. Another very important thing that I believe is to rely on your first-hand notes. Do not rely too much on the market available notes. Refer to the newspaper very consistently. Read it on your own. Refer to the original government documents. Then make your own notes because that gives you a better viewpoint, a better understanding of the situation, which really helps one in the paper 2 exam. So, and everybody is different. Consistency is the key. So, everybody shall follow their own instincts, their own strategies when it comes to that, and not rely on any topper strategy because one is different. You approach something in your own particular and different manner. So, develop your own strategies, know your own strengths and weaknesses, and just work on them. And do it
Absolutely.
consistently.
I think that's very well put because everyone has a different mind, just like each one of us have different fingertips. Mind is even
Right.
more complex and even more, even more difficult to understand. So different people have to approach the examination and approach life itself very differently. Only then will we get unique people and we'll get unique instances as well. I hope
Right.
the message is loud and clear and more people get that message. I think there was a hidden message there also that maybe the coaching institutes are not the best place to go to. It's better to have your own strategy and your own ideas really as far as this is concerned, isn't it, Cheryl?
Sort of.
Harjeet, coming to you now.
Sir, I would like to say to the aspirants that whenever you're trying to prepare for the UPSC examinations, what you have to do is that you have to gradually take steps. First, you have to ensure that your basic is right because UPSC is the test of knowledge and information, right, sir? And in order to get that information or knowledge, first you have to strengthen your basic. For that, you have to rely on NCRTs. After that, what you can do is that you can go for the reference books. And when you are done with the reference books, what you have to do is that take out the previous year question papers and start doing practice. And because the UPSC is an institution which can ask anything under the sun. You don't know what can be asked by the UPSC. UPSC is also famously known as Unpredictable Public Service Commission. So you should be doing a lot of hard work, and your hard work should not be like an unguided missile. And to keep your hard work more guided, you should be following smart strategy, and you have to take smart decision in your life at the right time, sir. And because of the pandemic and continuous failures, sir, most of the aspirants are getting demotivated. And I want to tell them that UPSC preparation is like a sea voyage. in a rough sea where you have to face these strong waves, rough waves, and the journey will be rough and rigid. But it will be beautiful in the end when you get to your destination, isn't it, sir? So, so I also want to tell that rough waves make strong sailors, and tough times make greater people. So if you have one goal, you have one dream, and you have a one life. So dedicate all the things to your goal, and take out your inspiration from the goals, your parents, because your parents have sacrificed a lot for you, and what they demand from you, they only demand that you will make them proud. So make them proud, make yourself proud, make your country proud, achieve your goal, achieve your dream, and live that dream, and success will be yours.
Absolutely, very beautifully put. I don't think it can be explained in a better way. Very well done, Harjeet. And Shubranshu, finally coming to you. What is the message that you want to send out to aspirants?
Actually, my fellow colleagues have also told a lot of things, but I want to say that फेलियर से नहीं डरना है, क्योंकि मैं इतनी बार फेल हुआ हूँ, फिर भी मैं हर बार लड़ा हूँ। और यहाँ तक कि मेरे ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स भी अभी भी हैं, वो जब भी मैं एसएसबी इंटरव्यू वगैरह दे के जाता था, तो वो मुझे बताते थे एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम के बारे में। He had also failed in the same exam, and he knows everything about this failure and success, as he was also a government servant. So he motivated me, and if the family is a bedrock to me, then I would also sail through it. और फेल होने से नहीं डरना है, हमें डरना है कि अगर हम फेलियर से उबर नहीं पा रहे हैं, इसके लिए आप कुछ भी करिए, बस फेल होने से नहीं डरना है। क्योंकि मैं 8 साल इस सर्विस के लिए दे चुका हूँ, मतलब इस सर्विस में आने के लिए, तो इससे लंबा जर्नी और किसी का क्या होगा सर।
Bilkul, Bilkul. So beautifully put. Everybody falls. It's how you get up and carry on with life is what is important. And that's what we need to take forward. And that is how we need to approach life as well. Such a wonderful conversation I've had with the three of you. My heart is filled with so much of pride and so much of happiness. I'm ecstatic really to know that Bharata's future is in such lovely hands. And it makes me feel rest assured that you guys are taking or bearing the torch of the country and taking it forward. Really, I've not had a better conversation than this in a long time. Thank you for making my day, and thank you for carrying Bharata's flag so proudly on your chests as well. It's wonderful to see this. Thank you, Sheril, Harjeet,
Thank you,
and
sir.
Shubranshu. A pleasure having you on UPSC Corner. That's it from me. See you again next time. And before I go, once again, thank you for your continued support. For those of you who haven't already subscribed, please like the video, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and then all notifications. Do follow our social media handles for all the latest updates, and you can also subscribe to our newsletter to get some incisive content. The Bharata First team runs a big picture daily quiz. Please do participate by going through the description in big picture videos. Here are the UPI IDs for those of you who would like to come forward and contribute. A small contribution that you make will be a giant leap for us to keep bringing you this content. So do continue to show your love and support. I need it now more so than ever. All this information along with some must-see recommendations are in the description of this video. Please go through it. That's it from me. See you again next time.